Imagine waking up every morning to the gentle sounds of the Atlantic Ocean, sipping freshly brewed coffee on a balcony with views that stretch out to historic buildings and vibrant street life. This dream is a reality for those who choose to make Porto, Portugal, their home. But what does it really cost to live this dream? Is it within reach or just a fantasy for many? Stay tuned as we dive deep into the updated 2024 cost of living in Porto, giving you the insights you need to plan your move or visit. The expat experience. For a one-bedroom apartment of around 60 square meters, you should expect to pay over €1,000. Studios are available for a lower price, ranging between €600 to €700 per month, but the living conditions may be cramped. For a more economical option, you can opt for a room in a shared home, which usually costs around €400 at the moment. Budget at least €100 to €150 for basic utilities such as electricity and gas. During winter, the heating usage may increase and lead to a rise in expenses. Additionally, you can allocate an estimated extra cost of €50 for your internet and phone bill. The price of groceries depends on your lifestyle, dietary requirements, choice of products, and the place you shop. As a safe estimate, budget at least €100 per week for groceries for one person. Expect to spend at least €15 for a meal out without alcohol, but it can be more expensive. If you plan to eat out twice a week, you should budget for at least €120 per month. However, this amount is still pretty conservative. But it's not just about having a roof over your head or food on your table. The social and cultural integration into Porto's daily life plays a huge part in the expat experience. More on this soon. If you're already imagining your life in Porto, why not take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel? We're here to guide you through every step of your journey, from dream to reality. A Metropolitan card known as Andante costs €40 and is valid on all lines and operators in the Andante transport system. Portugal's public healthcare system offers essential medical services at no cost to residents, but specific healthcare services may require standard user fees. These fees vary, such as €15 for visits to the accident and emergency department and €5 for basic general practitioner appointments. Opting for private healthcare, which provides easier access to appointments and a broader array of services such as dermatology and dentistry, will involve monthly health insurance costs, ranging from €40 to €100. Digital Nomad's Budget Guide. If you're planning to visit Porto for less than a year, you might be wondering about the best accommodation options available to you. One-bedroom apartments can be leased with rental contracts for around €1,000, but it's more likely that you'll need to book accommodation through Airbnb if you're looking for a short-term stay. During the low season, prices for a small apartment start at €1,200 and can range from €2,000 to €3,000 during the summer months. For those who are budget conscious, renting a bed at a hostel is an affordable option, with typical costs around €25 per night. If you prefer cooking your own meals, it's a good idea to allocate a budget of €100 per week for groceries for one person. Additionally, the Andante Metropolitan card is a convenient and affordable way to get around Porto. It costs €40 and is valid on all lines and operators in the Andante transport system, making it easy to explore the city without breaking the bank. Speaking of integration, language is key to truly embracing the Porto lifestyle. That's where our recommended language learning app comes in. Imagine learning Portuguese while watching your favorite Netflix movies or singing along to popular songs. Check the link in the description for a 7-day free trial and start your journey to fluency today. Eating out in Porto will cost you approximately €15 at an average restaurant. Depending on how much you want to explore the food scene, budget accordingly. There are also more expensive restaurants worth checking out. Porto offers a wealth of museums, theaters, cinemas, and bars that you can explore. Plan to allocate around €30 to €50 per week for these recreational activities. If you need a co-working space, renting a desk for a month in Porto can cost around €100 to €150 per month. But what about those looking to settle in Porto with their families? The city offers more than just a scenic backdrop for your remote work lifestyle. Family life in Porto. A 3-bedroom apartment in Porto will typically cost around €600, but prices can easily go up to €2,000. Budget at least €200 per month for utility bills, including electricity and gas. However, This amount may increase during the winter months due to higher heating usage. Internet and phone expenses will vary based on the number of phones, but a family package will typically cost at least 100 euros per month. For those of you considering a move with your family, what's one aspect of family life in Porto you're most curious about? Drop your questions in the comments and let's start a conversation. The cost of groceries will depend on your family's lifestyle and dietary preferences. A good rule of thumb is to budget at least 200 euros per week for a family of 4. Porto's Andante Metropolitan cards cost 80 euros for a whole family and are valid on all lines and operators in the Andante transport system. A meal for a family of 4 at a mid-range restaurant will cost at least 60 euros, but prices can vary depending on the restaurant. Now, education costs can significantly impact your budget, particularly if you choose not to enroll in free Portuguese public schools. Private international schools with English-speaking instruction can range from 7,000 euros to 15,000 euros per year per child. Private Portuguese schools typically require a budget of around 6,000 euros per year. Portugal's public healthcare system offers free medical services to residents, but some state healthcare services may involve standard user fees, such as 5 euros for basic GP appointments. In Porto, families are more likely to be assigned a family doctor than in Lisbon. If you choose private healthcare, it is advisable to obtain health insurance for your entire family, with costs starting at least 200 euros per month. The actual expense may vary based on factors like age and pre-existing health conditions. But before you pack your bags, some frequent questions people have. Is it expensive to live in Porto? No, living in Porto is cheaper than living in Lisbon, Madeira, the Algarve, and other parts of Portugal. It is also substantially cheaper than living in many other places across Europe. Is it cheaper to live in Lisbon or Porto? Porto is substantially cheaper than Lisbon. Various online studies and sources state that costs in Lisbon are on average between 10–22% higher than costs in Porto across various categories. Where in Portugal is the cheapest to live? You can enjoy substantially lower costs of living in Portugal if you are willing to live outside of the major cities. The demand for property in Porto and Lisbon has driven rent prices up exponentially. Bragança, Castelo Branco, Portimão, Évora, Viana do Castelo, and Santarém are just a handful of places that are regarded as among the cheapest areas to live in Portugal. Porto offers a unique blend of culture, history, and modern convenience, all while being surprisingly affordable compared to other European destinations. Whether you're a digital nomad, an expat family, or a student, Porto has something special to offer. But remember, careful planning and budgeting are key to making the most out of your Porto experience. And if you're eager to dive deeper into what life in Portugal has to offer, why not check out our video on the cost of living in other cities or the new immigration rules for this year? Click now and I'll see you there. Ciao!